What is going on, and welcome back into Bally Studios. Let's jump straight into this awesome content video. Now, if you've been following this playlist here on my YouTube channel, you know that we've already created this awesome painting of Jigglypuff the Pokemon. Now, we've gone through quite a few different creation videos in this playlist, all from sculpting the appendages out of DOS Airdry Clay, letting that dry. We also did a good layer of gesso, hand painted the entire acrylic painting, including the eyes, the ears, the mouth, and so forth. We've also created that awesome little microphone, or is it a marker? Well, it depends on if you listen to Jigglypuff's song, out of clay. Now, that's a Sculpey original, and we also detail painted that in the previous video. Now, in this video, we're going to be creating a nice varnish layer over the entire project to protect it. Now, just remember that we will be doing this varnish layer over the actual microphone here, both front and back, and we will also make sure that we kind of get that into the grooves of the microphone where we have sculpted the actual kind of like net texture over the green portion of like the microphone tip. We will also make sure we get a complete layer over across the front and the sketch on the back of the canvas. Well, we'll get to that in a moment. So now this is going to be a very fast-paced video. You can also check out the actual varnishing playlist on my YouTube channel if you want to see more varnishing videos. I will leave that in the info card above. Now, we're going to do a minimum of 2 coats of Liquitex Satin Varnish. Now, this is a water-based varnish, if I recall correctly. I think it is. And it is absolutely my favorite. I like how it just gives a nice bright shine to it, but not too much shine to where it applies too much glare to the surface of your painting. I like this Liquitex. It goes over everything from clay to canvas work very nicely. And it also doesn't apply too much pressure to your brushes there. So it's not very thick. It's not very cakey. But it does cure up overnight pretty easily, and it gives it a nice shine. Now, we're going to make sure that we get this into every nook and cranny across the sculpture as well. Now, all of those little fine hair details that we sculpted into the DOS Airdry Clay during the sculpting process, we want to make sure we're kind of able to protect those in some ways. Now, if there's a little bit of pooling from the varnish in particular areas, then that's completely okay. It will dry clear after the water evaporates, or the solvents evaporate, and it leaves that nice protective clear coat behind. Now, we will do another coat here. It does need one more coat just to give it a little bit extra protection here. Also, because I want to make sure that I get a good coverage over the kind of appendages where it's coming out and away from the canvas. I want to make sure there's no points around the feet, around the tops of the ears, around the actual microphone and the back where it's going to be exposed and have no protection. Odds are, if I leave anything that's untouched by the varnish, that is the one place that will probably be like chipped or dented. This canvas is probably going to go in my daughter's room. She's been kind of keeping an eye on it for a while, and I think she's already even got a place picked out on her wall for me to kind of mount this up there beside her Pokemon Sylveon painting. That is the Eevee evolution. So if you want to check out that playlist, it is available on my YouTube channel as well. I look forward to producing quite a few more Pokemon over the next few weeks, but I am working on a lot of projects right now, so hopefully I'll be able to at least get 1 or 2 more Pokemon done this year, if not quite a few more. We'll just have to see how time permits. My artistic style kind of jumps around with you guys, and that's one thing about my channel is you kind of get a wide variety of all sorts of things. Now, here we are. We got a nice varnish layer completely added on here. This is varnish layer number 2, and we're going to let this completely set up overnight, and then we'll kind of move forward. I got it sitting on a piece of parchment paper there. I do actually get a few drips on that, but it is what it is. So here we are. As you can see, you got to get a little sip of coffee there. But as you can see, it does have a nice flood coat here. Now, there's little spots here and there where the brush kind of like moved over it, and it's already starting to dry up. Here it is going around the edge of the eye. Now, that does also create a nice little bond between the eye, which is the clay eye, and the actual canvas surface itself. It's not really necessary in it, but it does apply just a little bit of strength to that seam between the 2 items because they are separated. Look at that absolute shine, you guys. It looks phenomenal. And we'll do some zoomed in like showcase pictures or videos at the end of this content video. But before we get to that, guys, and I really showcase the overall shine across the clay and the surface, let's go ahead and give a nice layer to the back of the canvas. Now, this is less of a priority, and I actually did not create the same color tone from the edges and the front as I did on the back. So I just kept this more of it was a Liquitex Basics. It's like a very bright pink color. I did use it throughout the entire painting process. However, on the back, I just kept it a pure solid color. I didn't want to leave it completely white in any way, but I didn't want to put a whole lot of detail into it. So I did not blend that out with titanium white to make it matchy-matchy with the front of the canvas. We're going to go ahead and gently apply a little bit of Liquitex varnish here to the back of the canvas. Now, this charcoal is still active, so if I were to work this overly too much, it would create smears. We don't do that. We're just going to go ahead and give it a nice smooth layer, call it a day. Try not to add too much brush strokes to that so that that charcoal does not shift around and leave smears. Now, as you can see here, Jigglypuff is quite a bit angry at me. I don't know why. Maybe I didn't listen to her Pokemon song, or maybe it's because she's not flipped around here. Let's get that done. There she is in all of her glory. Look how awesome her little toes are with her little claws, her little extended hand there with an indention if I ever want to add another accessory. There's her amazing ears with the overall kind of indention texture there, as well as the tuft of hair. Look how great that little microphone looks. Now, that was out of Sculpted Original, and we oven baked that before we attached the two pieces together. There's her eyes, full of all sorts of different shades and colors of blue, including those nice little glares. We also painted on a little mouth there, which is not 3D texture, but it's really cool. But look how great the shine is off this varnish layer, you guys. I really do think it applies just that next level to this overall painting, and I really do hope you guys enjoyed this playlist. Make sure you subscribe and like, and I'll catch you on the next video.